Um, so last week, we did this meditation on selflessness of the person, and it's quite a bit of information, um, and it's really hard. So I'd like to do it again and do it a little slower because it's something just really important to get familiar with and let it. I think, yeah, like we said last week, it's not something that you do once. You, aha, okay, I get it. No, it's a repeated exercise that we have to do over and over and over until it becomes kind of like second nature, or it becomes a realization. So I think it's just too important of a meditation that we need to really work on it, really shave away this ego, this inherent self, this inherent I. So we'll look at it again with a little twist. So we start just by bringing ourselves wherever we were coming from into this space, into this meditation session, leaving behind whatever we were doing before. It's like this 30 minutes that we devote to our mind, to our practice of mind, and an opportunity to be completely in the present, not thinking about what happened yesterday, what's going to happen today. Not like that. Just the presence. Become aware of the body, sitting here on the chair, on the cushion. No matter what position we're in, one aspect is just to keep the back straight. The back straight, relaxed. If everything else is completely in disarray, don't worry about it. Just try to get as straight a back as possible without straining. It just allows the breath to easily flow, keeps us awake, alert, and it allows these internal winds to flow freely. Bring our attention to our breath. And observe the inhale and the exhale, the expanding and the contracting of our stomach, of our abdomen. Just observing it, observing this process of breathing. And then we think about our motivation, that we're meditating to develop our minds towards enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings, because that's the only way that we're going to be of benefit to all the suffering beings in this existence, all the humans, all the animals, the insects, all the beings that we can't even see with our eyes that are so small. That's our motivation. We want to meditate on this innate self-grasping mind. It's not something that we can just remove from our body, cut it out. We can't destroy it with weapons. We have to apply analysis and meditation. So first we have to get very clear what is this inherent existence of the self. So we try to think of either a really euphoric situation where it arises, or um, a situation where the anger arises, or fear, anything that evokes a really strong emotion, positive or negative. Because we have to understand kind of this manner of appearance first. How does it appear? What does it look like? What does it feel like? We have to understand that before we investigate it. So I'll use an example. And it seems like a hilarious example, but um, it's a real one. And it happens more often than we think. So imagine you're a parent and you go to visit your sibling, your brother, your sister, and you're just for there for a casual visit, and your brother or sister baked cookies for everyone. And there was just enough cookies for everyone. And the kids are playing, and you're just chatting away. And one of the children says, I didn't get a cookie. Where's my cookie? And then um, your brother that you're visiting, he accuses one of your children of taking two cookies. And you think, no, not my child. They did not take two cookies. So it's this sense of my child, my ego thinking this is not possible, but you feel this kind of a rise in the body, like almost like a sensation, and the body becomes tense. So this is the inherent I, the me that's arising. So we want to get a real clear look at this, or get a good sense of it. So it becomes more like a concrete meanness. This feeling is really strong, right? It's like the kind self that entered the house is gone, and it's this like tense, uh, a little angry, a little fearful person that's arising. And that wasn't the person that walked in the door. So if it's not the person that walked in the door, who is it? What is it? So I have to investigate, where does it appear? If this I or me with the child that did not take the two cookies, if it doesn't exist inherently on its own, from its own side, then there's only two possibilities. It either exists in uh, the aggregates, the body and the mind, or it must exist outside of the body and the mind. Two possibilities. Okay. If it exists inherently with the body and the mind, then it must be able to find it in either our body or our mind. So is this inherent meanness, this I-ness? Is it is it in my head? But that doesn't make sense because the I is a person, is not just the head. So is it in my arm, my hand, fingers, fingernails, my upper leg, lower leg? Is it in my bones? So it's not in any of those. It's not in any particle of our body. Can't find it there, at least. So I can't find my I in my body. So maybe it's in my mind. So we have the mind made up of these consciousnesses, six consciousnesses. So we have the five sensory, taste, smell, touch, and then we have the one mental consciousness. So is this I my taste consciousness? The the touch consciousness? It doesn't seem to be taste, touch, maybe the sound. No. Vision, the eye consciousness. It doesn't seem to be this, no. It's too singular. Because it's almost like if each of the consciousnesses um, was the I, then uh, the person would be made up of many people. The mind and the person is quite distinct in its nature. The mind is this clear and knowing, and the person is an impermanent entity, which is neither matter or consciousness. So there's not such an I and within either the body or the mind. We don't find it. So we look outside the body and the mind. Is I is outside? Like, if I look to my left, or I look to my right, if I reach out, try to touch it, is it somewhere out there? So this analysis, it kind of arrives at a empty space. This I, this ego, the appearance of it, it's baseless because there's been this illusory appearance of an inherently existent person. So we can't find this um, can't find this I that is so enraged of being accused that my child took two cookies. So this experience of this non-finding of this I, it's not in the body, it's not in the mind, it's not outside, it's not separate from. There's still a person, there's still a body and mind sitting here meditating, but it's not how it appears. The enraged mind doesn't exist. So we try to settle into this non-finding of the inherently existing me. where we start to understand that this inherently existent I, which is so clear for us at the beginning, it's not there at all. And then consequently, the mind grasping at it gradually disappears. Get a bit of a taste, a bit of a feel for this empty space, this devoid appearance of the I. And while it's like this empty space, it's not nothingness. It's just not how it appears. He still exists conventionally as a person. Otherwise, there would be no one to experience this world. We don't exist inherently. It's not how it appears. This solid meanness. It's not like that. So we dedicate that. May this I, that's not inherently existent, realize its lack of inherent existence. And through this realization, be able to free all the sentient beings from the suffering of samsara. And in particular, we dedicate for all the people that are suffering in the world today, especially those affected by the storm in Florida. So much suffering, so many people displaced, injured, dying, so much mental and physical suffering. May they may they not suffer. May they be free from this suffering as quickly as possible. And all the suffering that has occurred, may that be extinguished and never reoccur again. Thank you, everyone.